Well, everybody, Kusog7ande, we are on our 7th iteration. I need to use the restroom, and I will be right back. And luckily, I think everything's set up, so it's going to be a very quick setup period. We will get to the third and final match of the week, or of the day, and the final match of the weekend in just a minute or two. So see you then. Hello, everybody. Don't be afraid of the quiet. I am back and just about ready to get rolling. So let's go ahead, Crappy. I forgot to send you somewhere, huh? I didn't actually change Crappy's location. Let me just switch to one of the other things that we did like yesterday or something. I don't even remember where this goes. Crappy, take us over. Ah, yeah, that's a good one. I like it. Well, everybody, I want to thank you for all of your subs, all of your PayPal little donations that some people have done, some of the bits that people have dropped, because we give out over $2,000 worth of prizes. That is extremely helpful for me, considering this is like my main income. So it's very, very helpful. Thank you, everybody. And yeah, I'm very excited because we're starting to get towards the end of Kusog7ande. The group stages went by over the last several months. The bracket can take a couple months, and honestly, we're going to start getting people eliminated pretty soon. With that said, round one, the Iron GM, the players were presented with 3 people who they could have chosen to give them a game. If they chose the same GM, that's who they got, and the GM loves them. They love when that happens. But if they chose different GMs, then they were given the last GM that neither of them chose, and thus enjoyed dishing out all of the pain that they could manage to conjure out of their souls. So let's find out who the GMs are first. Oh, thank you, Billy Rivers, for gifting a sub. You are pretty cool. Thank you, thank you. Our first GM on the list is Iron GM. I can barely read this. Double Trouble. Uh-oh. Why are there 2 of them? I don't know, but it's Seth. Our second GM that they were presented with is our friend Iron GM, the Kusoge Fairy, Garb, the Glitcherous, and finally, Iron GM, Jack Sparrow Stunt Double. It is the bird that keeps showing up and confusing me when it comes to names, Time Stalker. Well, as it turns out, the players were a little bit picky with who they wanted, because our first player, Pika Pals, was like, I go with the bird. And our second player was like, I go with the fairy, which means that the fox is the one that was chosen here. Seth Highwind, come on in, come chat with me, and I want to find out what game we have today. Come on, let's do this thing. Hello there. Hello. Oh my gosh, you are so quiet to me. Let me turn you up.
That's a... okay. Oh. That's a...
That's a first for you. Oh, that's okay. Now I can hear you. I should be able to hear you fine. How you doing? What's up?
Not much. He's been good. Been good. Recently adopted a new cat into the household, so it's been anxiety between like both the new cat and Tango trying to get along. So
Yeah, that can be a bit of fun. Is Tango the other cat?
yeah, Tango's been the main cat for like the last couple of years.
Yeah, it can take a little while for the cats to like figure out, okay, you don't hate me. I know you don't hate me. Okay, we'll live. We'll get through this. But yeah,
Right.
hopefully that goes well. Keep those cats from being angry. Well, with that said, I'm glad that you were able to take a break from cat drama and give out a game today. Although they didn't choose you, congenially. Yeah, they chose out of choosing different GMs. Are you unleashing pain today? Is that what we've got?
I don't know yet because I definitely chose the possible nicer of the two games I had in mind for this.
Okay.
But to be fair, the game that I chose for this is something I've been trying to get people to play for like the last couple of times I've GM'd, and it's been vetoed since people have already played it.
Ooh. Well, good. I don't think I've actually played this one.
Yeah, this is they say when you port to the Sega CD, you can easily turn a good game into a horrendous one, and that's definitely the case for the game I've chosen for these people.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I recognize this name, but I don't recognize the CD, or the Sega CD version of it, so this could be horrendous. What game do we have?
Oh, we are going into the lovely territory of Star Wars Rebel Assault, a game that a lot of people praise LucasArts for giving out on the PC, but then they ported it to the Sega CD, and yeah, bad times were had. Bad times were really had.
How bad could it be? Come on, we've never seen a bad port in ever.
Oh yeah,
I mean, this looks bad. This looks really bad. Are we gonna get copyright strikes because of very low frame rate Star Wars?
I really hope not. I mean, thankfully, it doesn't use that many licensed music, so we should be A-okay?
Okay.
Question mark?
A-okay question mark? Yeah, that sounds about right. Well, we'll have to see how it goes. The players will have 1 hour to try to make as much progress as they can through Star Wars Rebel Assault for the Sega CD. Whoever does takes the victory, and whoever doesn't will be moving on to the losers bracket, where honestly, it's not a huge deal because they'll still be able to fight and try to stay in, but one more loss leads to their elimination. So let me see if I can hear some Star Wars. Beautiful.
At crunchy audio with crunchy graphics to boot.
Yeah, a little crunch. By the way, if I have to do some recapturing, just know that is kind of normal for my life when it is not absolutely the most top pilots, Vince. Good job, Vince. Time to star a war. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Okay.
It's gonna be a war in many, many ways. I'm actually super excited to see them play through this.
Yeah. Okay, I am ready. I'm letting them know that
that's gonna be talking.
Do the hokey pokey. Someone has an artichoke. Okay, Netman is saying that they are ready, Pika Pals. Also, so I need everybody in chat to spam all of their best. What should they spam? Emotes that are related to Star Wars. If you have any Star Wars emotes.
I mean, if anyone has like a clip art version of just no, that would be great.
No, Silver Surfer, that's like a Star Wars. Anything dealing with spice is good. Robots, technology, like that. Robots like R2-D2. 3
Honestly.
FPS, that's probably
Yes.
appropriate. Yeah.
That's probably spot on, honestly.
No. Okay. Oh no, I'm scared.
Oh.
Oh no.
So, welcome to the Sega CD version of Rebel Assault, where you can't exactly make out what is colliding objects. So when you're going through third-person scenes like this, it's next to impossible to control, let alone ensure you're not going to crash into everything that comes your way.
Yeah. Also, I'm glad that this is the final match of the day, because if we run into any issues with Twitch not liking this, then we'll only be taken down during this game. However, this is a game. I feel like I would be able to talk to them and be like, come on. I didn't know. This is a video game that came out when? How long ago was this Sega CD thing?
Oh, this must have been like, I think this was like 92? Yeah, November of 93, so Sega CD version probably came out in like 94?
Maybe next time, Rookie One. See you on the far side.
Maybe next time. Okay, so what are we trying to do in this beautiful game?
So this is the training mission. So their first objective is to basically get used to the flying controls of going through, I can never remember the name of this canyon in Tatooine. They can basically choose one of two different paths. There's either the easy path or the hard path. We're unfortunately kind of seeing with Pika Pals, it doesn't really matter which path you go on, because if you stray too far from the course, you die. If you're too low on the course, you die. If you hug the sides of the course, you die.
Yeah. I'm seeing that, like, you can take damage. It almost looks like it comes out of nowhere, but I think it's just like if you are like within 10 feet of a wall, you might take damage.
Yes. Once they get out of the canyon, it then goes into like a top-down shooter mode where they're basically taking care of like womp rats on like the desert of Tatooine to kind of introduce rudimentary firing and shooting controls. So it's meant to be a tutorial stage, but we've already seen from both of our players, they've already lost multiple lives on a quote-unquote tutorial stage because your craft honestly handles like a bistro, to quote Zap Brannigan.
Okay.
The controls just are not intuitive whatsoever.
Yeah, this, like, question, the original, how well did the original play, like, before ported to Sega CD?
I barely played the original version. I just go by hearsay from a lot of both like retro enthusiasts and Star Wars gamers, but the controls for the original were pretty tight. It also helped that the pre-rendered backgrounds were easy to know what it is you're looking at and trying to do. So it made course correction and adjustment for a lot of the third-person flying sections a lot more manageable.
Yeah.
As well as for this top-down portion, which you can see both players, it looks like they shouldn't be hitting anything, but they're still running into, like, the walls of the canyon.
That's beautiful. I do like that chat is pointing out, like, apparently you're from Tatooine, the story of the game, you're following the events of Star Wars A New Hope and the Battle of Hoth, and that's basically it.
Yeah, because one of the later stages, you are on Hoth dealing with like the AT-ATs and actually deal with utilizing the tow cable to wrap it around the legs of the Imperial Walkers. So, from like a Star Wars standpoint, it does a really good job hitting like all of the beats, and this is like one of the earlier precursors that would eventually turn into the oh my god, come on, Seth. This is like one of your favorite series. What are you doing? The Rogue Squadron games.
Yeah.
Which started on the N64 and were phenomenal.
Yeah, gotcha. I honestly, I'm taking a look at the people who worked on this, and like it seems like most of the people had duplicate credits between the various versions. I'm just really curious about like who worked on the port over here, because that's the terrifying thing. But like the voices, the music, they're probably all going to be the same for both versions of the game. It's just really horrifying that this came out on the Sega CD.
It's always interesting watching people go, oh my gosh, it's CD technology. We can cram a PC game on this, and then they try, and it's, oh, that didn't go according to plan.
Well,
This didn't go according to plan at all.
Not at all. But you know, it's like that's the weird thing about a lot of CD games, because there were some that had like really, really fantastic editions on the PlayStation, that had fantastic editions on Sega CD, but you had to take into account what the console was good at and what it wasn't good at. Simply put, high quality textures, very detailed textures, probably not what you want to do. The FMVs, probably not what you want to do. Use a lot of polygons and a lot of simple, either flat colors or, lean into stylistic designs. If you can make it stylized and not make it look like it is a movie, then it will probably work pretty well on the PlayStation. Otherwise, it's not going to be good. You're going to have a bad time making this game.
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, if you wanted like a successful like port, especially for something on like the Sega CD or like early CD technology, it was a lot of the point and click adventure games that actually were able to be successfully ported over for the home market. Like the Sega CD has a really good and faithful Monkey Island port that plays just as well, if not slightly, that plays just as well as its PC counterpart, which is awesome.
Really? Okay, Pika Pals is on to the asteroid field. My assumption is destroy all of the asteroids that are highlighted.
Yeah, so if you destroy those asteroids, you get bonus points. If you have an asteroid coming to you, you have slight control over how your ship is steering, so you want to try to dodge in the direction you think the asteroid is going to, miss you.
Yeah, is it only the highlighted ones that may hit you, or is it any asteroid?
It is predetermined asteroids along the path. So, like, the ones that they're hitting are strictly for score. So, like, in the event that, let's say, both players, make it at the same distance, we'll then go at score at that point to determine the tiebreaker.
Okay.
So there's predetermined asteroids along the path that they have to dodge in the correct direction. This is when the game turns into a shooting gallery mixed with, like, the classic FMV adventure games that the Sega CD was known for like, ooh, pick a random direction and hopefully you did the right thing in time with the movie.
Yeah, that reminds me a lot. The Star Wars game on Game Gear had a stage where you were shooting asteroids, and it's like the worst thing ever. This actually makes it look almost tolerable, but then you get into these, like, are these pre-rendered FMVs that are playing?
Yes.
Okay, and it's just like over top the pre-rendered FMV is your sprite, as well as like collision hitboxes showing up. So it's not like too technologically difficult, it's just hideous.
Yeah, it's hideous to look at, and when you have a hard time telling like what the textures are, especially with the Sega CD version, sometimes the hitboxes of your ship and the hitboxes of the FMV don't line up correctly.
Yeah, and that is an issue. If you make the hitboxes slightly smaller than what they would normally be, it's a little bit more acceptable. But yeah, like, Pika Pals just took a hit, and I have no idea why.
I couldn't tell you why either. Like, from our viewpoint, no damage should have been done. It should have been just easy peasy, got in, got out. And unfortunately, it's, nope, you clipped the one pixel in the sky. That cloud up there, that was a steel cloud. That wasn't a good cloud. You're going to take damage for that.
Oh no. So there are some people, like, apparently some of the people who reviewed like the DOS version were like, this is absolutely a groundbreaking game. It has some flaws, but holy cow. This is a really neat game. Yeah, their main issue is that the story essentially replays several scenes from the movie. You're a freaking Star Wars fan. Excuse me, if you're playing this game, like, go ahead and give the fans some love. That's fine, right? Isn't it?
Attention all pilots.
Yeah.
Report to battle.
Because if I remember correctly, the success of I don't remember if Rebel Assault was made during the same time as the X-Wing and TIE Fighter series that was also released around this time, which was the proper like first-person space sim a la like Wing Commander.
Yeah.
But with, you know, X-Wings and TIE Fighters. I want to say this might have been the precursor to that, but I need to double check like the release window of the games.
Yeah, I'm actually like, I usually don't like to play games that are like, oh, this was made specifically for the fans, but I also don't have a problem with them existing. Like, if you make it very clear that this is going to be a game that follows events from the movies, and then you review it saying, I don't like that it followed events from the movie, then you're obviously not looking at the, like, that's a personal opinion. Okay, go ahead and get off your freaking high horse and review the game. Don't review whether or not you like to play it Star Wars. Huh? That's like...
It's true, though.
It's so dumb. Okay? Like... That... It's like if you have Gordon... This is something that I actually want one day to happen, that you take like 10, like, make a reality show, okay? And it's specifically a cooking show. And you have them trying to win a cooking competition, but all of the judges are just like super average people who know nothing about judging food. And then it's like, I don't like mayonnaise. You're out. I don't like mayo.
I honestly would watch that. I would watch that in a heartbeat.
That would be hilarious. And so, you know, the people who win the competition, they're not winning randomly. They're just winning based off of what they believe the judges are going to accept. And, like, it's almost more of a social game at that point, because they have... Like, I'd have them interacting with the judges as well, so that they can, like, sort of figure out what judges like and don't like, and oh my gosh, I would love that. By the way, chat pointed out that Pika Pals, as soon as hitting the 10,000 point mark, got an extra life, and I think that might actually come into play. Although I have to ask, how does the continue system work in this game?
With this game, once you get a full game over, it does kick you back to title. Contestants are allowed to use passwords for this.
Have they gotten any passwords?
Yes, at the end of each stage, it gives you a password after you're done with the stage itself.
Okay. So I guess that's a big question mark within my mind. Are the players recording the passwords? And are they paying attention? Because if so, then we may see a good amount of progress through this. And if not, then oops.
Yeah, yeah, that would be a major oops if no passwords were written down and it came to having to like restart the game from scratch, especially if they made it all the way to the final stage.
Oh yeah.
In like one run.
You did
That would
specifically
be-
tell them and pin the message that there is a password system and that they can use it in the event of a full game over.
Wanted to make sure we covered all bases for this game.
For sure. Question though, how much of the stage do you have to replay if you die?
There are no checkpoints for these stages, so as we saw with like the tutorial stage, anytime they made it to like the Womp Rat section and they died, it was straight back into like the Beggar's Canyon maze section. So the game's not really forgiving when it comes to checkpoints.
So what you're saying is that getting a game over, essentially the only reason for the password is to do a check to make sure that you wrote the password down. That's all.
Yep.
That's so... I'm so glad that modern games like at least have dealt pretty well with making saves for people that don't do that, because that's dumb. Oh yeah, people are sad for R2-D2. He screams. It's like the best noise from Star Wars. Come on.
Yeah, the password system also mainly just records what stage you got to. So even if like you were playing this casually, racked up, oh, I don't know, like you were playing the perfect game. You got like 5 pilots and you decide to like take a break and turn off the system.
Yeah.
If you put your password in, you go back to like the default life count of 3 or 4. So it only saves your progress, not any other lives you've accumulated. But that really won't be a thing we'll see here for Kuso.
Yeah. So apparently GamePro, I'm taking a look, like Paul S. In chat is really good at sharing for chat various reviews. If you're watching on YouTube, you are missing some of the reviews that come through in chat, and luckily the Twitch VODs do have those if you're really interested in them. I'm looking at a GamePro review specifically on the Wikipedia page because, hey, I'm reading Wikipedia live. Yeah. Apparently they said they like the music because guess what? It's Star Wars music. It's actually a pretty good CD quality version of the music. Good job. You did the bare minimum here. However, they described the graphics as grainy, soupy, and very pixelated. And soupy is a word that I didn't expect to work for this, but that is a very good description of the graphics here.
It honestly is. Like, it just looks like you're looking into like an ooze of a soup you've got like freshly cooking on the stovetop.
I mean, it's like probably pretty good tasting soup. Like, I'd eat it. They also said that the controls are poor enough to all but eliminate the fun factor of the game. And we haven't really talked about the controls. Like, why are they so bad in comparison to the PC game?
So I know someone in the chat mentioned it, but the PC did have full analog and mouse support.
Oh, that
while
might
the
make a
Sega
little
CD
bit of a
version,
difference.
yeah, and with, you know, the Sega CD, you're fighting with a D-pad, which, if anyone has played like any type of, you know, game that has ever supported like either mouse support, joystick support, and throw it onto a basic D-pad, you're in for a bad time. There's a reason why anytime someone mentions like, oh, you should play like this really cool, like, you know, this point and click adventure game on console, I'm like, nah, no thanks. I don't feel like playing with a cursor that isn't going to be snappy, especially if I need to, you know, do a quick time event or a quick judgment decision and have to throw everything to chance if the acceleration of the cursor movement wants to play ball with me or not.
I think chat is finally getting the realization that, yes, this is a rail shooter on a D-pad. Yes, this is what we have. I can forgive it a little bit, like, if you are able to speed up the cursor movement by, like, holding a button to move it faster, but it still is basically unacceptable.
Yeah.
Great shot.
She looked like she had no soul when she said great shot. She just like, great shot.
You did it! Yay!
I mean, at least she was able to put a little enthusiasm in the voice. Her face did nothing, though.
It's a face that says 1,000 words.
Yeah, she's like, let's go home. I am very sleepy now. Also, question, is that you, or is that just, like, somebody who's flying around with you?
That's someone who's flying around with you.
Okay. Pika Pals, back to the ugly soup land. This is like beef stew land, okay? I'm gonna call this beef stew. We had some beef stew, like, this week. Justin just, like, cooked up hunks of meat and chopped up tons of vegetables. And he's like, I found these barbecue green onions. They're really big green onions. He's like, I'm going to try putting them in the soup. Let me just tell you, I didn't mind it, but honestly, you would probably want to stick to regular onions. It's just they ended up pretty stringy. But I like onions of any variety, okay? Oh,
Because the manual does give a full cast of characters that appear in the game,
okay.
and I believe the female is Commander Merlin.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Youngest commander in the Alliance, Rue Merlin's skills and daring have moved her through the ranks faster than a womp rat through Beggar's Canyon. Love that. Hoping to impart her skills to others, Merlin trains rookie pilots for the Alliance. Her quick and keen eye for talent have earned her many friends and universal respect.
Let me just tell you, like, I've always enjoyed Star Wars. I like the prequels. I'll make fun of quite a bit. I enjoyed the new movies, but like I think I appreciate all of them in their own regards. But one thing that I always appreciate is that there are a lot of like the variety of characters and the variety of skills that they have, and that like every person feels like different and not really a stereotype of sorts. It's great that the games kind of follow that trend as well. We've got this female pilot who absolutely kicks butt. Okay, I love her. And like I've been thinking about this a lot with the video game Returnal coming out, how you can have like a female who is like who just kicks butt and is also like, you know, she's not non-feminine because she still has feminine qualities, but she also absolutely kicks butt. And I just love it when like writers actually make characters who feel well-rounded and not just a crappy stereotype like a lot of video games and sci-fi do. I'll go ahead and say good job, writers, for this game. I'm sorry that it ended up on Sega CD, but good job.
I honestly I still need to play Returnal. Like, I've heard nothing but good things about that game, and it's something I've been meaning to play.
I need to play more. I haven't actually finished it. I'm on what I would consider probably the second half of the game, and it's like really hard. It's really hard. Very good, really hard.
Because it's what, like a third-person shooter roguelite?
Yes. What's great as well is that the game does have like an infinite mode called the Tower of Sisyphus, and yet it is still tied in with the story, and you uncover more of the story while playing the infinite mode. It's not just a gimmick.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah. It's freaking sweet. Yeah, one thing though is that they I would say that the Tower of Sisyphus is like the most obvious. We're gonna go ahead and lean into all the Greek imagery, but the whole thing is like completely full of like a little lesser known Greek mythology, which is kind of nice. They're not like, oh, here, we're gonna name this Zeus. It's like, oh no, all of the names there are like at least subtle enough that most people are gonna have to go and do a little Wikipedia searching in order to understand what they're like, what this specific name has to deal with this specific thing. And like there are names that refer to the various fates in Greek mythology, and it's like I didn't know the names personally because like I think it's cool, but I didn't go and learn the fates names, and then I go and look it up. I'm like, oh, okay, makes 100% sense. Nerds. Y'all nerds making video games? I can't believe nerds made a video game.
How dare they?
Yeah. But yeah, Returnal high up on my recommendations for modern games. I love it. And I really, like, all of the praise that the studio got for making it, I feel is very well deserved, and I want there aren't very many AAA roguelites out there, and I hope that this gives more people inspiration to make them. But that said, what we are experiencing in this game is not a roguelite. It is You might be a rogue in some sorts. It's rebel assault. It's not very light at all either. It's very soupy.
Very soupy, a little bit on the heavy side.
Yeah, rogue soup. That's what we have here. Other people calling this the meatball field. Yeah, it's the
Honestly,
meatballs of the soup.
You can't have a good meat soup without a few meatballs in it.
Yeah, honestly, you should probably cook the meatballs a little bit before putting them in the soup. That way they're not just, ugh. Just imagine boiled ground beef.
No,
I can't imagine that. It's going to be pretty bland.
And my stomach just turned. That's a good sign.
Yeah, no, the texture is probably going to be fine. It's just not great, but it's not going to move above average texture. It's just going to be average or But it's not going to be the worst. Come on. Like, boiled chicken, boiled chicken's fine. It's not as good as other types of chicken, but it's fine.
It makes do when you get it
if you're making a soup, it's fine. But if you're making a stew, definitely cooking them like any beef is always going to be better than not doing that. It's just always a better idea when it comes to beef. That made me think though of Kay's cooking. She's one of my favorite cooks on YouTube. She had no idea what she was doing when she started. That or she just is really good at making parody videos that don't feel like parody videos because, her cookie is bad. It's so bad.
Wait, didn't Uncle Roger do a video on her fried rice recipe?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. I feel like her chicken parmesan was the worst, though. Like, her meatballs... Actually, her meatballs might technically be worse, but her chicken parmesan is my favorite video. Absolutely.
I might have to watch that after this.
Yeah. People are pointing out the donut asteroid. I do appreciate that they had a donut asteroid. Very lesser-known type of asteroids out there.
I feel like that's just like prerequisite for like any type of like sci-fi adventure. There always has to be like that one donut asteroid that the main protagonist has to fly through for extra bonus effect.
You have to have the donut. Although, I don't know. I feel like donut is not a very good shape for an asteroid. Like, why is it a donut? What caused it to become a donut? Like, normally, you sort of get those effects in nature due to weathering events, but there's no wind here. There's no water, just asteroids.
I mean,
and if another asteroid whacks it, it's probably gonna break. Like, there's so many asteroids out here. I do not buy that they're not whacking each other all the time, okay? They're going to be bumping. That donut's gonna break.
All right, so clearly the next NASA project is to send like a photo reconnaissance unit out to the asteroid belt to just orbit in the asteroid belt until it finds proof of a circular donut asteroid.
Yeah, if NASA finds evidence of a donut asteroid, I am gonna go ahead and believe in them. But until I see a picture, or at least a scientist telling me there's a donut asteroid, I'm not buying that they're this common, okay?
The quotation marks donut asteroid myth.
Let me look this up. Okay, donut asteroid. Steam Workshop. If you look up donut asteroid, Steam Workshop is the first thing that pops up. Asteroids on a donut, that doesn't even make sense. That's about a video game. Exploring the world of Atari, donuts, and geometry, video game stuff. A longboard?
Good job, team. Now let's get out of here.
What does that have to do with donuts or asteroids?
Wait, a longboard?
Longboard? It is a skateboard that on the bottom has pictures of donuts on a star field. Fine, whatever.
Oh,
that doesn't count.
Okay, that's a
Locking in your navigation computer.
It's not what we're looking for, but sure.
Yeah, the Kuiper belt is a donut-shaped ring of icy objects. Okay, so the ring is donut-shaped, but it does not have donut asteroids. I just am not a believer in asteroid donuts, okay? I do not believe in them. And yeah, it looks like Pink Bells is on Hoth. Pretty scary. Oh my gosh, this reminds me of the old school Atari Star Wars game where you have to destroy all of the walkers. That game is so bad. It's unacceptable.
Oh, it's so good. Though, I mean, to be fair, like, the only, like, Star Wars, like, any type of, like, I guess arcade game I remember playing the most was, like, Sega's, like, Star Wars arcade, where you could, like, either, like, sit down or you would stand up with the joystick and would go through, like, various scenes from the original trilogy.
Yeah. So apparently Discovery.com says that a donut-shaped planet is technically possible. I'm really glad that Discovery.com has confirmed that, as well as the existence of ancient aliens.
Only the highest sophistication in the truth is acceptable here.
I do not believe in that. I do not believe that.
Homer has a theory of a donut-shaped universe. That don't surprise me.
Don't
remember
you
that
dare.
episode.
Okay.
Coming around.
Sorry, I'm eating pizza. Ooh.
Ooh, what type of pizza?
Well, are you gonna get upset like Novasol did?
I can't make any promises, but I will do my best to keep my expectations in check.
Here's what I'm gonna tell people. Eat whatever pizza you want. I will not judge. Okay? I will not judge you for whatever pizza you want. And if you don't like a certain type of pizza, I am not offended. Okay?
You're starting to scare me, but okay, continue.
No, one of them was a meat lovers and the other was chicken Hawaiian. That's it.
You know, like, I may not be a fan of pineapple on pizza, but for those who like it, good for you.
Yeah, you see? You see? You don't have to be a hater, huh?
Though I will admit, I've never heard of chicken and pineapple. I'm used to ham and pineapple as the go-to
this
for a lot of
also
people.
had ham. Ham, chicken, pineapple. It's good stuff.
Oh, the Jabberwock. Thank you so much for actually acknowledging Dash Rendar's existence. I appreciate you.
Okay, explain to me, what is a Dash Rendar?
Dash Rendar was the main protagonist of Star Wars Shadows of the Empire, a fantastic game on the N64 and PC. That was kind of like an in-between events behind the scenes during episode 5 leading into episode 6.
Okay.
Probably one of my favorite characters in the extended universe, just because it's Dash Rendar. The dude's amazing.
Okay. Astronomy.com says Earth may have been shaped like a donut at one point in time. Maybe while it was forming, but that would be it. And I don't think you could call it a planet during that period.
No, it's more of a celestial body about to turn into existence.
Yeah. They're calling a celestial body, let's see. So apparently some scientists are calling something a synestia, where a celestial body violently collides with another one, resulting in a donut-shaped disk of vaporized rock. I'm going to go ahead and say that at that point, it is not a planet. That is not Earth. It is what is before Earth. If that happened. After some time, the body will cool down and turn to a solid round planet as we currently know. So, yeah. I just have to say, just because something has been vaporized and turned into a donut shape for a little while, that doesn't mean that the planet is donut shaped. Okay, so Pika Pals is currently doing this.
I legit forgot about the third-person stormtrooper sections.
This looks like it could have been better. How do you move your character?
I believe that is. If I remember correctly, you have to hold. Let me relook at the manual because I honestly don't remember. Because I know
This
with the
is
PC
bad.
version, this was your character was controlled with the arrow keys, and you would aim with the mouse. I've got a. Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. I remember now. For this section, they have to hold down the D button and then push left or right to move their character.
There was a D button on the... I don't even
B,
know.
B,
Oh,
B
B,
button.
B, B. Hold down the B button, press the direction pad right or left. And that's
Yep.
to shuffle left or shuffle right, because that is great.
Oh, so yep. Welcome. Welcome to the fun of trying to dodge and shoot at the same time. You can only do one or the other.
You know, Pika Pals is actually doing it. What the crap?
Yeah, I think it took
Oh,
Pika
no.
Pals like a little bit of time to get the awkwardness of the
And then
movement
you
down.
have
But
to choose which path?
yep.
This is... are any of the paths like insta-death?
Looks like 1-1.
Wait, was that insta-death?
If the screen turns red and you go back to the start, yeah, it's an instant death screen.
Okay, I didn't even notice that it was insta-death. This is so not okay. Oh, donut asteroid on Netman's side. Nope, that's an
Oh
explosion.
no!
Pew!
The
That's
donut
okay.
asteroid claims another victim.
I don't believe in the donut asteroid, okay? I just gotta say, until I see one, I don't see any way for one to actually be created without destroying the entire asteroid as a whole, especially at that size.
Stop right there.
Stop right there. Oh, okay, I guess I will.
Okay, if you insist.
Yeah,
I
as it
give
turns
up.
out, rebels are really good at following instructions. You wouldn't want... Now, a rebel wouldn't break the rules, would they?
No, they wouldn't.
A good
rebel
rebel
is one
listens
who
to all of the troopers.
follows all of the rules and regulations.
Yeah, a good rebel always stops at a red light and waits for people to cross the crosswalk before turning right.
So good. So good. I do feel bad
Okay,
for Net.
which way you gonna go? Nah, I don't feel bad. Net is not that far behind. Okay, left or right, Pika Pals, it's your choice. Left or right? Oh, it's
do
gotta
this.
be left this time. It's gotta be. Don't you love possibly dying because of coin flip?
As a person who recently went through all of the King's Quest games and had several moments like that, yeah, it's the best. I love making choices based on a 50-50 coin toss.
So the only thing that would concern me about this is the possibility of this actually being the incorrect path, but you still have to fight some things here. I know my adventure game BS, huh? I've played a few of them.
Yeah, it's always the best part is you go down a path, you say, oh cool, I'm actually advancing the plot, and you have no idea that what you actually chose was just death. It just doesn't happen for several more screens.
Now you remember, a good rebel will always clock out when going to lunch and clock back in 1 hour later. That is what a good rebel will do. Bad rebels accidentally forget and make their manager clock them out and back in after returning from lunch. Everybody, welcome to the nightmare that is everything that you could have hoped and dreamt of, like, for the Sega CD. This is Prime Gaming, not Amazon Prime Gaming. Heck, this is better than Amazon Prime.
This is honestly the best of all of the classic FMV tropes that came on the Sega CD. You've got your rail shooters, you've got your pick left or right and hope you chose the right direction in time with the movie. And it's just it's when I think of FMV games, this is usually like up on my list of like when I like there's always like 5 FMV games that usually pop in my head, and this is like usually like number 5 for me. Because nothing beats like the point and click FMV games that came out in like the mid 90s when publishers were on a race to hire movie actors to star as characters in their game, regardless if the game was good or bad. They were hoping that, oh, we'll sell this game based on star talent alone. But then you actually did have a slew of like good FMV games that had star-studded roles, like Mark Hamill in the 4th Wing Commander game. And of course, my personal favorite FMV point-and-click game, Ripper, starring Christopher Walken, has Burgess Meredith in it. The actress who played Indy's love interest in the first Indiana Jones movie. Like, he's a good time. He's a really good time. God,
I'm thinking
the first time
Mad Dog McCree was probably my favorite when I was a kid, which I know a lot of people say that that's bad, but I'm not convinced. I loved it as a kid. It's cheesy, but it's playable, especially if you're playing on PC with a mouse.
No, Mad Dog is good. I don't care what people say. I also thoroughly enjoy Mad Dog. Like, either PC, if you can actually find like one of the like actual like Laserdisc arcade cabinets, or even playing it on like Sega CD with like a light gun is just a good time. It's a really good time.
Yeah, I really enjoy it. And like, it's exactly as cheesy as you would hope for a Western game. Like, the deaths are so over the top. Like, you shoot somebody and they do like a triple flip off of a building to their deaths. It's so freaking good. Like, whoever was filming it, they were like, we're gonna have fun with this.
I would have loved to have been on that set just for like there must have been a good camaraderie between like the crew and the actors, and just there must have been just a fun time on that set.
Yeah. And it's like, it's never too serious. Like, some of the stuff you have to do is just kind of ridiculous, like the play, but it follows all of the tropes, all of the Western tropes that you would hope for in a video game. Pretty much, I would say, at least as good as 90% of John Wayne's movies. Like, seriously. John Wayne actually had some decent movies. It's just I hate them all. Like, I can distinguish between good slash I like it. Like, something can be good and it's not for me. That's fine. But he actually had some really good movies. And I know True Grit, the original, was a big hit. I saw the remake. It was actually pretty good. But I just don't care to watch John Wayne movies. Sorry. Even though most of them were filmed in Utah. I'm sorry. I don't care.
Like, I think when it comes down to it, especially when you like compare like the classic Western actors, I definitely would prefer to watch a Clint Eastwood movie over a John Wayne movie, personally.
I think I'd agree with you, but I don't really want to watch either.
I think you also just have to be in a mood to watch like a Western movie.
Yeah,
It's one of those genres that it's kind of hard to sit there and like, yeah, I'm gonna watch this on like a daily basis for a week. You have to really be in a mood for a Western.
yeah, you either have to really enjoy them or you have to be so bored that the Western is somehow less boring than you are. Like, and that's honestly for me, I don't think I reach that level of boredom very often in my life. Pika Pal's going through the tube. Oh, geez, and that is a death. Back to the beginning.
Oh no.
This is so evil. I love it.
It's great because Pika Pals was showing that, you know, they were able to get used to the janky flight sim controls, and then they're being thrown into a third-person shooter which has its own unique control scheme that you now need to get used to. But
yeah,
it's such a jarring transition.
Yeah.
And I love it.
It's amazing. I love how hard, like, how punishing this is for, oh no, you accidentally got shot because we couldn't figure out how to put controls in the game.
Oh no, you went down the wrong corridor. Let's punish you and send you back to the beginning
Yeah.
of the level.
I'd actually say that maybe one of the reasons I hate Westerns is because I grew up in the West. I still live in the West. And simply put, watching a movie that's essentially a documentary of how boring it is over here, I'm not really interested. And by documentary, I mean a fictional movie that honestly feels about as boring as life actually is over here. Nah, I'm gonna pass.
I think the thing for me is I got real tired of anytime I would go like to like an out-of-state event or talking with like friends online for the first time and mentioning, you know, when I was growing up in Texas, they go, oh, well, you must insert Western stereotype here.
It's like,
Constantly.
no, that's Utah. No, Western stereotype is Utah stereotype, not Texas.
Like, I'll never forget, my best friend and I went to a film camp out in Los Angeles, and like our first day there was like a meet and greet with our fellow students, if you will. And the table we were at just constantly was asking like, oh, so you guys are from Texas, does that mean you both have like revolvers? Do you guys have to like ride horses to school? And we both just gave each other this look and said, well, if we're gonna be asked these questions, let's just roll with it until they realize that we're just making all of this up.
Did they ever
and
realize?
Just turned into yes man for like every single stereotype they threw our way.
Did they ever realize?
Two, like out of the table of 6 we were at, 4 of them started to play along with our joke and just went deeper and deeper, while 2 of them were oblivious to everything.
Oh, I love it. I love that so much.
It was great.
No, it's like, honestly, the reality of the Western U.S. is that if you watch any Western movie that has a part that is not boring, if you take out the not boring part, then it's accurate. That's what Utah, Colorado, Nevada, Wyoming, Idaho, that's what we're all about. The boring parts of a Western movie.
Honestly, yeah, no, that fits. That, like, my ex was from Arizona, and quite often
Arizona
we would just talk
too.
about,
Yeah.
and it was just like, yeah, there's not really a whole lot going on. It's pretty boring. And anytime I would drive out, when I lived in Cali at the time to go visit, I'm like, yeah, no, you're right. There's, what the hell are we doing again?
Yeah, it's like, if anybody, like, from any city complains how boring life is, it's like, oh my gosh, you don't even know. You don't even know. Okay? Boring is absolutely a choice that you're allowed to have. You're allowed to be bored sometimes, but you don't even know.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, you know what? You're bored in the winter in the West. What do you do for excitement? You go outside and you sit in the snow. Okay, that's exciting. That's what I would do as a kid because nobody else wanted to go outside with me. And I'm like, I don't know how to play in the snow because I'm a stupid kid. I don't even know what to do. So I'd go outside in my winter clothes and just sit in the snow. And then I'd get cold enough that I went back inside. I was kind of a stupid kid, okay?
See, I'm thankful that I had a Siberian Husky growing up. So when it would get into like the teens, my family would stay inside for warmth, and I'd be like, all right, cool. I'm taking the dog on a 3-hour walk. Don't stop me. Okay, bye, guys. And we'd just go out to, like, the public park or just walk around the neighborhood because both myself and my Husky, like, enjoyed the cold weather.
That sounds great. Like, I love the idea of snow. It's just that, like, I didn't know... I don't... Like, there's a reason my parents took... There were multiple reasons why I went to psychologists as a kid and got, like, a brain CAT scan because they're like, what's wrong with this kid? And yeah, like, going out and sitting in the snow, I think probably contributed to, like, why is he doing this? He's just a weird kid. And the psychologists were like, we don't see anything wrong with his brain. We just think this kid's weird.
You just think he's weird and might be a little bored, but he should be climbing and falling out of trees.
Why does he go sit in the snow? Why does he sit in the snow? And it's like the answer is
We're clear. Let's go.
just a weird kid. Tempestrol, apparently, I don't know what's happening in chat, but apparently Tempestrol clicked something that was weird. I can't help you now. I'm just gonna go sit in the snow. I'm sorry.
I can offer you emotional support, but that's about it.
But yeah, like when I was growing up as a kid, I had a silent stutter. You know what? I have ADHD, so most of it could probably be attributed to me having ADHD and being sort of not the most neurotypical kid in the world. I was still really social, but like if I was told to go, like if my parents were like, you want to go play outside? Then I'm like, yeah. And then nobody joins me. What are you supposed to do? I don't want to do, I want to do stuff with people. And if nobody else wants to join me, I'm just going to go sit in the snow.
Well, there's no one to play with. There's just the snow here.
There's just
This
snow.
looks like a good spot to sit.
Yeah. And it's kind of nice. Like, snow is soft. And you can lay down in it, okay? And then you can make a snow angel. That's always good. And then you can just keep laying in your snow angel because there's nothing else to do. Freaking boring outside, okay? So apparently Tempestrol accidentally pinned a message in Twitch chat about poutine, and I would say that's about how my March has been. Just accidentally doing something and not knowing how to undo it. Yeah. Oh my gosh. That's like the biggest thing that I got angry about in Game Maker, and I was like, I have to close this for the day. I accidentally deleted 1 or 2 levels, and guess what? If you delete a level in the program, instead of being like, okay, here's an undo button, it makes it so that 1, you cannot undo, and 2, it automatically saves.
Oh no.
Yeah, so do not hit delete after you have selected it. It doesn't even give you a prompt. Okay, if you push the delete button when the room is selected, it's gone. It is so very gone.
Oh.
Yeah. So let me just say, okay, people are asking why was that okayed? And let me just tell you, I don't know. Also, their way of actually having backups for everything Like, they remove the ability to have backups on your own computer, and you have to, like, link things through GitHub and use line commands in order to, like, push stuff there. I'm like, this is probably going to take me as much time to learn how to actually upload a backup as it is to make my game.
Oh no,
And
Net's on the
I hate
third-person
you.
shooter
I
section.
hate you. Oh, yeah, Netman. Get ready for fun. If Netman clears this quickly, I'm just going to laugh so much. People are saying GitHub is very good to learn, though. Yeah, I've put stuff on GitHub. But no, they have their own system that you have to jump through and link up all of these different things in order to get it to work. And, like, I guess I've learned, like, using the website and uploading stuff via the website. But no, they don't have an easy way to do that. You have to download, like, 3 other programs by other people who made them and, like, figure out, you know, is this program going to be installing Norton antivirus, aka actually literally a virus, onto my computer? Because I don't want you to do that. Please don't do that.
Please be nice.
Yeah.
Again, Rookie One. It's not that difficult.
Anyways, I hate it. The end. Game Maker Studio. I'm probably going to try Unity for my next project, and if that works better, which I've used Unity a little bit, but I've usually used it for 3D projects, not 2. If it works better, we're scrapping you. We're getting rid of you, Game Maker.
I've heard for some people, like, Game Maker's a really good, like, introductory for, like, learning how to do, like, game design,
It's
and then once you feel
actually
comfortable,
really good
to,
in
like,
some ways, yeah. Like, I'm really glad that I'm using it. It's just that there's a few things that piss me off. That, like, there's just no way to get around those specific things. And because they specifically programmed, like, they made their program in such a way that you are going to sabotage yourself at one point or another, and there's no way to get what you did back. And that's very, very infuriating to me. And I am gonna, yeah. So, I'm gonna say, one of the unforgivable sins, they have committed a few of those. But I think probably every game development thing has a few unforgivable sins. Is Netman Mac gonna, like, first time clear this? Because
I
Netman
don't
Mac
want
is
to
doing this
say
really well.
anything, because yeah, they're on fire. They're.
I don't believe in jinxes. You can say whatever you want.
I no, I do though.
Well, why do you believe in them? That's stupid. They can't hear you.
I beg to disagree. Because usually whenever I say something...
If they can hear you, then they shouldn't be hearing you, and that's a disqualification.
That is true. Oh my gosh, they actually did it.
Yeah.
Blue Squad
I
rejected.
don't think Netman can catch up, but that was a first try third-person section that Pika Pals, like, spent a heck of a lot of time on. That was super impressive, and I'm going to say, even though Netman has no way of catching up, what the crap.
Yeah,
That
Pika
was
Pals
so good.
has a solid lead. There's... Yeah, no, Pika Pals is starting like the last series of missions.
Yeah. By the way, everybody, if I do end up making any game in 3D, I'm going to make some very ugly crap, okay? And I hope you all know, and I hope you're all ready for existential dread, because I will make that. As for making anything enjoyable, I don't know if I could do that in 3D, but I will make dread.
About to say, I would look forward to like playtesting any existential dread you happen to create in 3D. That sounds like a good time to me.
I've done some animation in Blender, and oh, I like the scary stuff. I like the horrors.
The horrors is what makes everything fun.
Yeah, I've explained this to other people before that, like, I'm still sort of a newbie with stuff. I tend to think of myself as a jack of all trades, where like if you got to figure something out, I'll be able to figure it out. And I'm sort of stubborn in that, like, if there is a challenge, I will be able to figure it out. Will I be able to make the best thing ever? Probably not, but I'll be able to get something that generally fits within the good enough spectrum of things. With that said, we've got 30 seconds left on this match, and do you think that this version of the game is good enough, chat? I'm not sure. It's enough. I would say at least it's enough.
It's something.
Yeah.
It is something.
Yeah, well, luckily I don't have Monday stream, so if we do get DMCA'd due to having this game, I don't think my next stream is planned until after that would expire. But what else has expired? Time! We are done today. Just watch. Like, Twitch actually only checks your channel if you say the word DMCA. Ha! It's like Beetlejuice. You say it enough, bam, it shows up.
DMCA, DMCA, DMCA.
No! Well, that is it. Let me go ahead and welcome the players into voice. I like that Netman's like, I'm offline. We're done. Oh my gosh. Where's Beaka Pals? Join general voice if you'd like. Because I would like to hear some opinions about this game. It's pretty clear, though, that Beaka Pals has taken the victory and that Netman is in second, although Netman really made up some ground towards the end. Hello, Netman, and it looks like Beaka Pals is here as well. Hello, both of you.
Hello. Hi.
So,
Goodness gracious.
uh-oh, Netman, are you okay?
I am okay except for that Taurus in that asteroid level.
Oh my gosh,
why?
the donut asteroid.
The donut asteroid.
I knew that was the end of the level, and I died to it twice, and it's like...
Yeah, let me just say, I do not believe in donut asteroids. We have discussed this many times during the stream. I do not believe they exist. I have seen no evidence of them, and I'm going to keep this up until somebody takes a picture or until a scientist reaches out to me and says, shut up, they exist.
Someone was just hungry at work that day.
Let's put a donut in the game. Oh my gosh, they're my favorite. Okay, Beaka Pals, do you feel the same level of frustration about the donut, or was there something else that was worse?
The donut was, you look at the donut, you're like, man, I wish I could fly over that, but I know exactly what my pilot's going to do here. And then you die to the donut. But, you go through a really hard on-the-ground shooting section, and then you get a choice, left or right. And then one way you just, time to restart.
Okay, Beaka Pals, this is gonna piss you off. Nem and Matt got it on the first try.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah, I think I only lost
really...
the choice once at least.
No, got the entire thing. Beat the entire third-person section in one attempt.
Oh, geez.
Is that
really impressive?
Like, really, 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 really hard?
Beaka Pals probably took, 10 times or something?
Oh, jeez. Oh, then you must have been way ahead of me. Holy moly, I lost so much to that asteroid field then.
Yeah, let me tell you. Because Nem and Matt, you made up so much time there, but Beaka Pals still took the victory here.
Are you serious?
Yes.
I knew I lost way too much time at that beginning with, like, yeah, I figured.
No, it's fine. Like, you never really know. Guess what? An on-rail shooter using the D-pad, that's not a genre we have on Kusog7ande very often.
Not just any rail shooter, an F&V rail shooter.
That wasn't the part.
And one you don't feel like you get to control much.
Yeah.
Well, the thing that threw me off the most is the fact that you have a hitbox around yourself that you basically do not have active control over. You have passive control over it, and the game just decides where you are, and then you have a bit of lean, and then if you don't know where the game's going to put you, it's like, well, you're going to get hit.
Yeah, and honestly, it's like almost impossible to tell where some of the hitboxes are, like flying through the canyon sections. Occasionally, y'all would take damage, and I'm like, I don't know why, but you did.
Yeah. Speaking of, so this is where I lost a lot of time, and as soon as I figured out, I was like, oh, that might have been mutual. In the training section, after the very first section, where I died like 3 times there because I thought at one point I was like, are the lasers invisible? No, there's geometry that you smash into that looks the same as everything else in that pea soup on that stage, and it's like, okay, cool. Like,
that aerial view stage.
Yeah, and you can intuit it like once you know that that's what's happening, but you are not getting the proper information.
Did I hear pea soup?
Yeah, I died once to that and was like, oh, what am I even dying to? Oh, there's probably random geometry here that I'm hitting that I'm not seeing.
Yeah, it took me until my second death to realize, oh, there's not attacks here. This is just geometry. Because the damage noise is, like, universal, and you don't run into anything else that damages you before that point. So I'm like, okay, laser fire, then I'm getting hit, right? Well, I am the one doing the hitting.
Yeah.
Right into that rock-like face.
I actually really liked, like, how all over the place everything was, because, like, Pika Pals, you excelled in certain situations that Netman Matt struggled with. Netman Matt excelled in other situations that Pika Pal struggled with. Like, honestly, like, this is a genre that you just don't expect. And there's no shame in losing to this. You both did phenomenal.
Yeah, I felt really good about that, but I know I lost so much time to that Star Destroyer. That Star Destroyer, I like did a second loop and then died at the very end, and then I had to do the whole thing again, and I was like, this is not Kingdom Hearts 2. This is ridiculous. Get me out of here.
Yeah, Pika had a similar situation where they were near the end of the initial Star Destroyer, unfortunately took a death, and had to restart that entire section all over again.
Okay, and that makes me feel better.
Yeah.
The same thing happened to me. That's good. It was probably really, really close.
Yeah. But
yeah, good.
With that said, I very much enjoyed watching this match, and honestly, Netman, you still have a fighting chance. You're going to go down to the losers bracket, but you have plenty of foes that will be coming your way, and we'll have to see how many you're able to conquer.
That tear through that losers bracket. I'm so confident right now. That felt really good, honestly. I think I did pretty darn well. And congratulations, Pika.
I think both of you did really well. Like, I gotta be honest.
Sounds like, yeah.
Both of y'all did a great job with this title for a game that a lot of people have said, like, thoroughly ruined Star Wars for them, just with how inferior the Sega CD port was to the original PC. You guys did great.
I'll
be honest. Two things. One, the instruction manual basically doing a cop-out and saying, hey, if you press up and right at the same time, you get double speed because we programmed it that way by accident. But we realized the game needs it. And then, like, honestly, second, I might actually finish this.
Oh, really?
I might actually play the rest of the game. I'm already, like, halfway through, and, like, it's not a terrible time, I'll tell you that much.
Okay.
I think I'm on the second to last stage here.
You might be right towards the end there. Like,
oh, yeah.
And heck, if you can put another game under your belt, then might as well, right? Oh my gosh. Seriously, though, that was a lot of fun.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me on. This has been great.
I'm glad.
I've been enjoying myself.
Well, everybody, that is it for Kusog7ande this weekend. Actually, first, before I do my outro, Netman Matt, you streaming anywhere these days? Having any fun?
So I am streaming. I've been streaming, like, almost daily for the past, like, 2 years. The problem is I've been streaming on Discord, and I've been meaning to switch to Twitch. I should probably do that at some point, but right now, no, I don't have any way for anyone to follow me in any sort of way.
Oh, okay.
Can I give shout-outs to, like, a friend of mine? And tell people to follow them as well? Follow Wandering Newbie, they're great.
Yeah, okay, Wandering Newbie. That name sounds familiar.
Yeah, they're great.
Cool. What about you, Pika Pals?
No, not too much for me, just whatever random race stuff I'm doing at the time. I don't think there's a ton going on right now.
That's all right. I'm glad that we're able to have races for you to join here, and hopefully you've been having a lot of fun. I'm very excited to see what future rounds hold. And oh my gosh, you never know. You never know. Well, with that said, we're going to go ahead and raid. We were going to raid Feasel, but then Feasel raided somebody else doing Beetlejuice NES speedrun attempts. And I think we'll just go ahead and raid the person Feasel raided. If that sounds good, everybody. Never mind, they just went offline. What the freaking crap? Why is everybody going offline? Come on, who's live?
The hosting Samba.
What?
The hosting Samba.
Yeah, that's what we're trying to do here. Don't want to read there. Casual play. High Spirits is doing Spirit Con Days 174. That's like not a convention at this point. That's a lifestyle. But that might be worth doing a raid over there. I like High Spirits. Dragon Warrior 4 randomizer. That could be a fun time. Who's live isn't in? Oh my gosh, nah. Let's go raid High Spirits. Do we have a good raid message? And yes, Pika Pals, for those who missed what I said, Pika Pals won. Net and Map made up a lot of time towards the end. Poutine? Okay, so
I'm looking forward to this
poutine.
VOD.
I was about to recommend that myself.
So, fun story. One of our mods accidentally pinned a message that just said poutine in Twitch, and so that was pretty cool. We had a lot of fun.
Seems like a good pin.
Tempestrol, love ya. Be aware that the game coming up that we are rating does have some flashing lights. It's NES Dragon Warrior 4, so if you are sensitive to that, you may wish to close in just a little bit. Otherwise, thank you, friends. I will see you hopefully Tuesday for Don't Make Us Bored. I'm gonna go work on some bird game and possibly, I might try to sneak in a little Diablo 4, open beta before it closes because it's free right now and I'm not giving anyone money. All right, take care, friends. I'll see you all. Bye.
Hi, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Goodbye, friends. All right, I am offline, maybe.